I'm Brian Hendricks, and we're working on this red fox. We just finished up the ears, and now we're gonna put the head in this thing and continue to mount the head now. So first I'm gonna roll this skin back down over the neck, and here is the post that the artificial head goes on, or this is the conventional head. Instead of the easy set, we're gonna use a conventional one on this one. And there's the socket in the back of the head that's going to go on that post. We previously put a screw through there, and that screw is going to go right in that post and allow that thing to pivot then on there. So I'll grab the screw gun and run that in, and we want that in a little bit past flush so it's not sticking out, creating a lump on top of the head there. That allows that head to swivel on there now. So okay. And we can pull the skin back up over the top. Be careful not to mess up our clay that we did on our eyes and everywhere else. Oh, you know what? We got one other thing to do here before I roll that up. Had to do with the ears there. I never trimmed off the bottom of the cartilages. I'll leave that head on there. I think I can get at them all right. Okay, see that cartilage there sticking out past the bottom of the ear liner? We want to get rid of that. You probably wouldn't have to. There's probably enough room for it to float around right here along the side of the head. I like to trim it right off of there. Yeah, let me grab some scissors and get it out of the way so when I'm floating those ears around on there, they're not chunks of cartilage aren't sticking out in the way. I just like to trim them off a little bit shorter like that. Now another thing I am going to do is take a little wad of paper towel, and I'm going to stick that into the ear now, because I want to plug that off so that I don't have any caulking squirting back up through there. Once I caulk this head, we got to get over here and do this other side now. If I can get to it all right, should be able to. There it is. Way. So you probably wouldn't have to do that. And I have also just super glued that hole shut, but this seems to work fine, just putting a piece of paper towel in there. That'll keep it from coming up in there. Now we can pull the head back, the skin back up over the head. Like I say, being careful not to mush our clay work that we've already done. Just pull them gently on the forehead there. Make sure the eyes are coming up where they need to be. There's the eye. Got enough skin there. Nose is coming over, no problem. There's our muzzle and everything. We already did a test fit, so we know it's going to work all right. Now I like to pull that skin up. See that corner, that ear liner kind of sticks down right there. I like to have that skin pulled up over that corner there. And we might have to do that later as we're going along and adjusting the skin. But because it was so obvious right there, I'm going to show you that right now. What does need to be done at some point is to pull that skin up over those corners like that. So when you go to set your ears and adjust them, you're not folding the skin over there. But anyway, okay, we got the skin on there. I'm gonna put some caulking in here now. Get everything up there where I want it. I'm gonna put a pretty good bunch of it right in here on top of the head. That's gonna kind of go right back behind the ears. A big old wad of it there. I might not even have enough in this tube, I don't know, to do this whole head area. You can stay right over there. I'm going to do that side in just a second here. I'm going to squirt some on this cheek over here, and I'm going to come right around underneath, and I'm going to squirt some on this cheek right here. And I'll put a little bit down here on the throat. Okay. That's it for the big globs. Oh, I'm out of caulking. All I need is just a little bit more. 2 tubes is just about all you need on a fox, and I didn't quite save quite enough. Okay, I got a new tube here. I'm just going to put a little bead up there and just kind of bring it right down the nose here. Stay right there. So on each side there, we've already got some underneath, but what I am going to do is squirt some on that lip line right there, right into there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just because I want a bunch of it in there. And we've already got some there. Okay, that's probably going to be enough. I'll leave it right here if you need it. Just going to take a Q-tip now. You can use your finger or whatever, I guess. I'm going to use a Q-tip. And I'm going to start smearing this caulking around. Go all over my clay. Don't worry about the eyes. We're going to clean those off later. We just want to make sure we put it everywhere. Again, this is latex caulk, so it will clean up with acetone. Acetone actually makes it turn into crumbles, so it really makes it easy to clean up. Even if you get it in the fur, you can just squirt and rub acetone into it with a toothbrush or something, and it'll crumble it right up. Be able to brush it out that way. Okay, we got lots of caulking everywhere. I think we got it pretty good. Might have to smear a little bit more on the lips as I tuck them. We'll see how that goes. Okay, now we'll just pull the skin down here where it goes, belongs. Hold on to the head back there. Exactly. I'm going to pull that forward and put a pin in it. That should help. Wants to keep sliding back on me. Now I'm going to try to pull those eyelids out a little bit, the part that we're going to end up tucking. I want to get that out there where I can see it and know what I have, and then just lay it down on that caulking on that eyeball. That'll help rehydrate it just a little bit dry. But same thing here. There's the eyelid that we're going to tuck. You don't want it all rolled up under there when you're ready to tuck the eyes, or just there. So we know that's where those are going to go. But first, I want to pull this skin down, and I'm going to tuck the lips and stuff first. And I think I'm going to spin that head around this way if I can, because it rotates on there, because we put that screw in there on that post. So that's going to let me kind of see this lower lip, this lip line a little bit easier. That skin's pretty dry right there. Now, the first thing I want to do is find the back corner of that mouth. And to do that, just kind of look at your hair patterns. And you'll see where, I'm getting a couple pins ready here. You're going to see right here where this hair growing along the lip line goes this way, and the hair growing along the lip line here goes this way. So they come together like that, okay? And that's the exact back corner of the mouth. And what I'm going to do is put a pin, right there it is, and what I'm going to do is put a pin through that right there. So I know that's the back corner of the mouth. And then when I look on my form, oh, I lost my pin. Okay, right there is the back corner of the mouth. Okay, that's where we wobbled that out a little bit and made a, so you can see it there. I got the hide paste out of the way now. And that's where that pin's going to go, right into that back corner of that mouth right there. That's going to give us the location for the corner of the mouth. I'm not going to push that all the way in yet. I'm just going to leave it sticking out there. It's a reference point. So that's going to give you an idea just how much skin has to tuck into that hole there in the back corner of the mouth. Spin this thing over the other way, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Locate that back corner of the mouth on this side, and do that too. Okay, there's my hair patterns coming together right there. Okay, and I'm just kind of taking this needle and working that, I don't know if you can see it very well, working that hide paste that I squirted back there. Just kind of working that right into that lip slot as I locate that back corner. So we'll have good gluing capabilities there. There's that pin. Stick it right in there. This can be pretty awkward without laying these things down. I suppose I could lay it right down on its back. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know if I can with it being on this base and all, but it's going to be worth a try because it'll be a lot easier to tuck those lips if I can lay that thing down. There we go, maybe. It's going to be an awkward place for you to try to see, isn't it? Let me turn it this way. No, leave that right there. That'll help prop it. I guess I'll use it on this side. Prop this thing up. It's paper towels, maybe that'd be better. Not very tall. Yeah, that isn't too bad. That might work for us. What do I do with my pinning needle? That I need. Where did I put that at? There it is. Alright. Now we can kind of see what's going on. Okay, we got the corners of the mouth pinned. We pull up the bottom lip. Now I'm going to start tucking that skin in the back corners there first. I know it's going to be hard for you to see and me to see at the same time, but like I say, I made that slot just a little bit loose so it'd be easier to show you what I'm doing here. Which is okay. You can have them that loose when you're actually mounting them up. You just got to keep an eye on them as they're drying, because they'll, with a loose lip slot, certainly if you don't have enough glue in there, it's going to have a tendency to want to open up on you. So just make sure. Yeah, we could use a little more hide paste on there. Squirt some on there. Get a different Q-tip here. Okay, I got a little bit of caulking on this Q-tip. Just going to rub that on that lip line right there, on the lips, the lip skin. So I know I got a lot of glue on there then. So when we tuck that in there, it'll have something to grab onto. This is called tucking the lips. Keep track of your center line up here. Make sure you keep the center of the, under the nose there. You keep that lip centered on in the right location there. You can work from both ends, it doesn't matter. But you definitely want all that naked skin to be tucked, so it can get pretty tight in spots by the time you get it all tucked in there. There it starts to go. And what I like to be able to do is run at least the tip of my needle all the way down like that, so that I know I've got it all tucked and I don't have a bunch of bad wrinkles right there anywhere that's holding things in the wrong place. So. Okay, that's not bad for now. That bottom one needs to tuck a little bit more. That muzzle's got some pretty serious scarring on it right there, so not much we can do about that, but maybe when we're doing some finish work we can touch it up a little bit. We're falling over here, aren't we? We wanted to get that This is the bad lighting there. Keep the lip. I don't want to over tuck that bottom lip. It keeps wanting to pull in there, so I don't know if we can do anything to show this other side any better or not. Probably not. Let me do that backwards. Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll try that. This bottom lip is pretty good. It's got plenty of glue on it, I guess. Again, I'm going to put a little bit more caulking on the lip there. Hard for everybody to see what's going on, I guess. It's a little bit dry. Okay. Same thing here. We'll start back here. Get all that extra skin tucked into the back corner of that mouth right there. As we work forward, this just kind of goes into place. Here's the center. It could stand to be tucked a little bit more right there. I don't know if I kind of over tuck that a little bit in the wrong place from the other side. Pull that out and see. It's no fun when it's not where you want it. Makes it harder later. There we go. There. I must have just had it folded. I should be able to slide that needle right down along there. There. It slid all the way along. So I've got a nice smooth tuck lip there. Created a wrinkle right there. Should be able to feel right around there and make sure you don't have any big wrinkles all the way around there. It's all nice. So we can tuck that just a little bit more. And that pin's still sticking out right there. I can feel that. Okay, there's our lips are tucked. So I will come back around, tick that thing back up the other way. Easier, yeah, because we're going to work on, well, maybe while it's right there, we'll go ahead and tuck that nose a little bit. Play with that just a little bit. Oh, it's upside down. Got that little crease there. Can't see what's going on. Like I said before, I would have preferred to have a little more nostril skin on this since I'm using the real nose skin, but we'll make do with it. See, I actually want a little bit more clay. I put a little bit of clay on that nose before we mounted it, but it's not as much as I want. So I am going to just grab a little bit of clay, put some in there. Doesn't take much. Okay, I'm just going to pull that up a little bit like that. And push that little worm of clay in there. And then force it on in with the other end of the tool. I'm just kind of forcing it up underneath that skin a little bit. It's just not as puffy and fleshy looking as what I wanted, so a little bit of caulking on there. Makes it hard. I'll clean that off so you can see what's going on here in a minute. First I'm going to put some more underneath this wing. And that tucks in right there anyway. That one looks a little weak on that side too. So we'll put a little bit in there too. You can always scoop some back out, so don't be afraid of putting too much in there at first. Not a big deal, you can always adjust it. I don't like all that scarring on there, but nothing we can do about that. Let me get a little acetone. I'll show you how clean that nose up a little bit there. Get the caulking off of it so we can see it just a little bit better. Just a little bit of acetone on the end of this Q-tip. Well, that might be a little hole in the skin right there that the clay is showing through. But by cleaning it up, we can at least see what it is. I have our work cut out for us on that muzzle. That's not a very nice looking muzzle on this thing. There should be a cleft in that nose all the way down. There, once we get it all done, get the eyes and everything done, we're going to mess around with that some more. We'll back brush that and see if we can't clean that muzzle up. It's really scarred bad. So, okay, I'm going to turn the thing back around now so we can do those eyes. We already did our clay work. Kind of squished everything out. We'll have to fluff it back out again later. Okay. Some of this. I got the wrinkles out of that one side, but I never did this side. So working that skin a little bit. Looks like it's all right there. Guess we'll start with this eye right here. Again, there's my eyelids, and there's our clay in there. Should be able to feel that little crease right there's that little crease that comes off the back corner of the eye, so I know this skin has to go down lower in order for me to get that in the right spot. So I'm just gently pulling that skin down, and you do want to be careful so you don't tear the skin. Okay, so now we got it down there in the right spot, so I'm just going to start in the inside corner here, and I'm taking the needle and putting it against that eyelid skin and just kind of rolling it in to the crack to force a crack between the glass and that clay that we put around there. And that's how we're tucking these eyes. That big old glob there, I could have trimmed that off, but it'll tuck in there. Kind of messy to see what's going on, I suppose. I'm going to go back and start on the upper eyelid. And as we come around to this outside corner, let me see if I can feel that. Yep, I can feel that crease right there on the form. I should probably grab that head and show. That just creates a trough right there for that hair pattern to flow into. It's a little harder to demonstrate on a head like this with clay. With the easy sets, it's pretty obvious. Okay, that one's pretty much done. Tucked anyway. We'll go to the other side and see what we can do with that. This one's got better eyelids on it than this side does. Again, there's the corner, there's the clay showing there, so I know that skin has to come down further. See if I can feel it. I can feel it with my fingernail. I can feel that crease right there. So there's the outside corner of the eye right there. So there's the dark line. That's the hairline, the hair pattern that has to flow in that crease that's down there on the form. So again, let me grab a hold of that and pull it down. Should have done it. I believe so. Yeah, we got plenty of skin there. There we go. Okay, so that's out there where it's supposed to be. I'm going to come to find the inside corner, tuck that in, and I'm just going to work around the bottom lid, tucking that skin against the glass, between the clay and the glass is where that eyelid goes. Same here. I think the other one I started at the inside corner went out, but it doesn't matter, whatever works for you. As you come down to the outside corner, it should go right into that trough. There it is. So there we just created that hair pattern that you'll see on fox. Okay, inside corner. Just have a little trough there, and a little trough there. Okay, and a little there. You can see as I tucked that, it pulled that skin down over top of those little clay bumps that we put on there for the eyebrows. So we've automatically got a little bit of attitude going there. Let me pull some of the skin down a little bit here. It's a little bit snug up there. Okay, because we can actually create just a little bit of a crease right there. Both sides. And by keeping those eyebrows full and up like that, it's going to help give this thing some attitude. Okay, that ear, I'm pulling that skin up over that front corner of that ear now, and I'm going to work that around in that caulking. We've got a whole bunch of caulking in there, remember? Okay, pull that out of the way. I'm going to work some of that caulking forward. Around the ear this way, squish some around there, because we want these tufts on the side of this thing's head to be nice and full. I mean, it's not a very furred fox, you know, it's not a fully primed fox, so got nice, beautiful colors though. Nice cherry, but just not a lot of fur. It's probably a late October fox. They don't prime here till about almost the middle of December, so. Okay, I gotta pull that skin up over that one too, just like I did that other side. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but okay. So we can get these ears where we want. So caulking over this side. Some up forward here. Much caulking on this side, not as much on the other. Work some of that over. There we go. It's more even now. Okay, what you're going to end up with is this ear is tucked correctly, and all these hair patterns are in the right locations. It's going to create a little line of fur coming right along in front of that ear right there. And that's what you're seeing. It's coming off the front corner of that, the inside corner of that ear, and coming down in front of it. So it's going to create a little tuft really. And that tuft comes right down and joins that little tuft on the side of the face there, which comes off the, you got that little line that comes off this outside corner of the eye. Let's go over to this side because I can do it better over here. You can see better since I'm right-handed. There's that ear. Make sure that's in there where it belongs. It's really hard to see here, but there's our outside corner of our eye. All this fur up here forward. We've also got whisker buds, or whiskers sticking out here. Pay attention to those. You're going to want to get some reference out. And start playing with your, looking at your reference, and start adjusting hair patterns at this point. A little bit of hair coming out, but that's not a big deal. I'm gonna get a little brush and some acetone, and we're gonna start cleaning up the eyes. What that looks like. A brush that I didn't have ready. Not the one I wanted, but it'll work. First, take a Q-tip and get some of the heavy stuff off, so that it actually has some eyeballs in there. It's already starting to dry a little bit, so now I've got acetone on this brush, and you're going to see what happens. It's just going to crumble that caulking right up. Get it right out of my way. Use a little more there. You don't want to dump just a whole bunch of it into the eye area there, because it'll get down in there and it'll get rid of all the caulking that you used in there as an adhesive. So that's why I just put it on the brush like that and don't get too awful crazy with it. Okay, I have no idea what that looks like from the front. But I'm going to go over to the other eye and clean it up a little bit. Yeah, this is not tacky glue. That's just the bottle that I have my acetone in. So yeah, don't use tacky glue. You won't get the same results. Just makes a nice little applicator bottle. This brush isn't quite as stiff as I like for what I'm doing right now. I'll have to find my other brush here in a minute. But an artist brush like that really works nice for cleaning things up and moving that skin just a little bit here and a little bit there to start getting some detail. So, well, we've got the lips tucked, the nose kind of shaped, and the eyes kind of shaped. We still got some work to do on them. Now we can at least see what we've got going here. I'm gonna push that lower lid up more. You want that little bit of a black eyelid, that lower eyelid, to show black a little bit. Pull this one down just a little bit more, because that should turn right into a crease there that you can't really see into. Make sure you keep that skin worked forward. That hair forward. We'll get a brush here pretty quick and I'll back brush all that. Same thing over here. Got some eyelids that are kind of out of place here. Tuck that. Pull that down a little bit. I don't know how we're doing for symmetry, but remember, these animals aren't perfectly symmetrical. They're like people. Kind of hard pressed to find anything that's symmetrical. But you still want them to be pleasing. Try to tuck some skin right there that wasn't how I wanted it. And then roll that back up there. Pull that down a little bit. And just keep working with it. And hair patterns will come together. Start getting some expression on it. I need to step back here and look at it a little bit. Oh, this eyelid is way too high on this side. I'm bringing that eyelid down to cover up the top of that pupil a little bit there. It's just going to be a much more natural look. I'll try to hold my hand out of the way here. Still want some nice flow to it, but same thing on that side. I guess I'll bring that one down just a little bit. I think what's happening is my skin is having a tendency to pull back, so I'm going to work that forward and put a pin in the back of that head. Now this is also, remember we've got that head on there that rotates. So once we've got this thing set up where we want it, we can look at it and get that body balanced on that log, and then we can move that head wherever it needs to be level, so that the eyes are level once we get this thing set up permanently. It's all blown out and everything's fluffed out. Let's see if I can work a little bit of skin forward here. Kind of hard to do sometimes. There, it's coming forward. I just don't want a whole lot of tension on that as it's drying, or it's liable to cause problems for me later, so I'm not gonna. See, I didn't push that all the way into the neck post, I just pushed it into the head a little ways so it'll stay there. Okay, then I can play with the ears a little bit. I can get those where I want them, and I'll put a couple pins in those. I'll be over here a little bit. Let's look at this thing. Oh yeah, it's got some problems, but we can, nothing some time won't fix. He's getting there. Okay, we'll stop here for a minute, and I'll get ready to do some final adjustings and some grooming and stuff, and I'll get some brushes, and that'll be the next step.